Om Shanti, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope everyone is doing very well, staying safe, and doing well. This is Dr. Rajni. I work as a rheumatology physician, and I will be the presenter on behalf of Brahma Kumari Silicon Valley today for this webinar. So, before we start the webinar, we'll take a minute and relax, and then we'll start the webinar. Sit comfortably, relaxed, quietly. I tell myself this time is for me. To be with myself and to be in the present moment. I'll put a hold on all the other day-to-day activities for the next hour. I tell myself that I'll do them later with more focus and attention. Take deep breaths. Focus on your breathing. Feel the air flow with every breath in. Feel the calmness and peace with every breath in. And let go of any rush, any stress, anything that's holding you when you breathe out. Relax your body and mind. I'll keep my mind very pure, clean, and receptive. As I go through this webinar, I'll reflect on my overall health and wellness and make a promise to work towards my overall wellness. Om Shanti. So today's webinar is from illness to wellness. We'll focus more on the wellness because we know a lot about all different types of illnesses now. So we'll go more on the wellness today. So as we all know, health is the real and the greatest wealth, right? Everybody, if we ask every one of us, any one of us will say health is the real and the greatest wealth. And the most important thing is, like we say, time is gold, but we cannot buy time with gold. Similarly, health is wealth, but how much ever wealth we have, we cannot buy any health with that. So we have to be really cautious and focus more on our health. And Hippocrates, the father of medicine, says health is the greatest of human blessings, and we all agree with that, right? So what is illness? Briefly, we'll look into that. So is it only when someone has dis-ease? The name itself says when the body or mind is not at ease, then the dis-ease happens. We call it sickness or illness or disease. So is it only when someone has the disease manifested right now, or when someone has an underlying problem that can lead to a disease in the future? So definitely we will say that it is not just right now the illness manifested, but we have to work on the things that can contribute to the illness. So our goal is to address before the illness starts. So we cannot say we don't need it now, or we don't need to focus on that, right? We have to focus because we all know that prevention is better than cure. So we have to focus on the things which can cause illness and work on them right now. So again, the Hippocrates, the father of medicine, he told it beautifully. Illnesses do not come upon us out of the blue. They are developed from small daily sins against nature. And here, the most important thing is nature is starting from our body, right? It is external environment for sure, but the internal environment, our physical body, our mind, our heart, against the small daily sin, against the nature, whatever small daily sins we are performing, the accumulation of that is what causing the illness. They don't come upon out of the blue. So when enough sins have accumulated, illnesses will suddenly appear. So that's why it's very important we focus on all the things that we do on a daily basis towards our wellness. And the wellness, most important thing again is here, it's an active process. Anytime we can start, or anytime we can change our habits and everything, because it's not the end point. It's an active process of becoming aware, of making choices towards a healthy and fulfilling life. And it's more than being free from illness, it's a dynamic process of change and growth. The minute we take care of our body with the right diet, right internal environment, emotional, mental environment, we will see the body has tremendous capacity to heal by itself. So it's a dynamic process. We don't want to think, okay, the illness happened already, can I be well? No, absolutely right. We will become well if we take care of our body the right way. And the WHO definition for health is it's a state of complete physical, mental, social well being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, health is a state of that, and wellness is an active process so we can achieve the wellness and health. And the National Wellness Institute defines a conscious, self directed, and evolving process of achieving full potential. So we'll remember this full potential. So, wellness in all walks of our life to the fullest potential of ours. That is our goal. So, we'll look into all that in today's webinar. So we'll divide this wellness into eight dimensions of wellness, including social, occupational, financial, and various other walks of life. And that's what gives us the wholesome wellness, the complete wellness. So we will go over each one of them. And before we focus on the wellness and our goal, we'll read this from Hippocrates again, the father of medicine. He says, if someone wishes for good health, one must first ask oneself if he is ready to do away with the reasons for his illness. So the responsibility is on us. We have to take the charge, and we have to do the best that we can do to not to do the things that cause illness, and then the body will definitely heal and become well. So, with that in mind, we'll go take our journey from illness to wellness with that quick reset, right? It's in our mind. The minute we think of that I want to do, if I have that determination, if I have that willpower, I'll do it. So, with just a quick reset in our mind, we will take that journey to wellness. So we'll start with environmental wellness. And I'm sure every one of us now are able to focus more on this environmental wellness, because before it was so much rush, the day to day hustle bustle. We were not focusing much, I felt. But now we all understand. I'm sure you all might have heard from your friends and people. Animals are coming out onto the streets. We can hear the birds chirping sounds and everything. Nature is rejuvenating itself and sustaining us when we are inside our homes in this lockdown to protect ourselves. Nature is protecting us and rejuvenating itself. And we have to take a big responsibility on us for this environmental wellness, for our benefit, and for our mother nature who is taking care of us all this time. So we have to be aware of the interactions between the environment, community, and ourselves, and behave in ways that care for each of these responsibly. So we have to show our respect to the mother nature by being responsible in what we are doing. And again, it's not the benefit for mother nature, it is for our benefit. So how do we do that environmental wellness? How do we do our due responsibility? So first thing is respect for the resources and using them appropriately. And we all are hearing all around the world how the scarcity of resources is happening now, right? So even if we have a lot of material things, wealth and all, we still cannot buy all at once. So we have to understand the importance and respect for the resources and efforts to decrease pollution and planting trees we have been hearing, which is very important. Again, right now we all have time, so we can do some of these. And now the nature has forced us to be inside our homes, automatically decreased some of the pollution that we are causing with the physical vehicles and all. And the respect for the animal world, avoiding animal food and help maintain the ecosystem well. And I really want all of us to take a minute and reflect, what are we doing? One animal we are calling a pet, one we are calling food. So I really want, if somebody has that habit of eating animal food, please take a moment and think about it, how much the ecosystem is getting disturbed, because all the land where the crops should be raised, that is being used to raise industrial meat production and animal food production. So at one point, on one side there is no greenery, there is no nature growing, and on the other side harming the animals, and we're taking that stress in our food. And so many studies have shown that animal food is not good, it's inflammatory, it can cause diseases, and the industrialization means a lot of processing in that food, and that's not good either. So I really want all of us to take that moment and reflect and make a promise for, try for a few days of avoiding the animal food, and after that we can see the results. We don't need any research studies, we just know the results for our own self. So we have to think about it. It's the whole environment wellness we have to look into. And the other thing is effect of our thoughts on our environment. And again, I'm very sure that we all experience that, how the home environment becomes when we are angry and upset. I really like one thing our teacher tells us is if one of you get angry in the family, just go out. Make a promise that you don't spoil the atmosphere at home. Just go out and get angry and come back so you don't spoil the atmosphere at home. How many times we can go out when we get angry? We can't, right? So automatically the anger starts going down. So we have to give a lot of importance for our thoughts to keep the environment healthy and clean. And the other thing is, experiments on plants also have been done. So this is a very cute experiment that the students in a school they did. IKEA did in one of the schools in Middle East on the plants. They wanted to teach the kids bullying is bad. So how they wanted to teach is because they were telling the children, but they're not seeing the pain of the other kids maybe, so it's continuing. So they wanted to show a practical proof for them. So what they did is they put these two plants in the hallway every day where they walk around, and they gave equal care for both the plants. But one plant, the kids were told wantedly to go and give the thoughts of bullying to one plant, and the other plant they gave all the compliments, how beautiful you are, how good you are, and you're giving beauty to the environment and oxygen and everything. They were complimenting. So they themselves noticed the plant that is bullied is wilted in some time. In the same time, the plant that is complimented was growing. So it is so beautiful how kids were sharing their feelings, what they noticed, and everyone said that, no more bullying, we will not criticize anyone. So that's how important our thoughts are, that will affect our nature, which in turn affects us. And also, we can see the environment at worship places and other places. Why the environment in worship place is pure, clean, peaceful? It's because of our thoughts and the God's vibrations also. But our thoughts are making the cumulative effect of the thoughts of all the people visiting a place will determine the environment. So that's how we can contribute to our environmental wellness, which is our own wellness. So the next thing we'll talk about is social wellness. And we all know the problems of what illnesses we have in terms of our social wellness and health. So in the family itself, we have problems, and because of this social media and all, there's so much comparison, anxiety, depression, things happening. So our responsibility is to maintain the social wellness. If we take our home itself, we have to understand that the relationships are all about to give and take, but not give or take. So if we just remember a couple of things, that everyone has their own role, everyone has their own habits and some scars or qualities. We just have to accommodate each other's things and help each other to remove anything negative and to have that beautiful relationship, instead of just expecting the other person to change. So it starts from our family. It's give and take, not give or take. And regarding the social wellness in the external world also, and I'm again very sure that we all are connected and we are realizing it more than ever before, right? So how we are not able to talk to people without being 6 feet away. We're not able to talk to people without a mask. And at work, you can't believe we get emails saying that at lunchtime, don't laugh out loud, because even when you laugh, the particle and the virus may spread. So that's how connected we are, but sometimes we get differentiated so much, and which causes our problems in social wellness. So the energy we radiate will be shared and spread all around, and will come back to the one who initiated that energy. So nothing is limited, everything is shared. So we have to understand that. Okay, sorry if I'm going too fast. I'll slow down. So that is how we can maintain our social responsibility, making sure that we radiate only positive energy, loveful energy towards the other person. And the next thing I wanted to just quickly say is, this is not to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, but we want to be cautious and responsible of what we share on the social media, because some of this social media anybody can access, and little kids are getting affected so much because of comparison. Somebody has this, somebody has that, somebody had a photo like this. So I really saw in my circle how badly it's affecting the kids with the comparison, from just seeing things on social media and all. So we don't want to share too much, especially like that open, where some people may take it that guilt or low feeling or depression or anxiety. And you can study a lot on about it, how young kids are getting affected with anxiety, sadness, depression, because of comparison, because of so much on the social media that they are seeing and comparing with the friends. So we have to be cautious in that also. And the other things in social wellness we have to focus on is love begets love. What we give, what we get. So we don't want to expect, we just start giving, whether it is our family at work or other extended family, relatives, anything. And cooperation begets cooperation. So whatever we give, that comes back to us. So we have that responsibility to maintain that social wellness where we can be healthy and others also can be healthy. The next wellness we'll talk about is the financial wellness. And all of us, I think, are good in it, investing and things like that, especially in Bay Area and all. But we will look into the energy part of it. So we all agree that we should earn in the right way, right? We don't want to earn in any wrong ways, because it's not just the physical currency, the vibrations from the money translate into our food, mind, and body. Because whatever we need for our body and mind, we buy with the money that we earn. So when we earn the money with a lot of stress in it, the money with lot of stress or tension, that will translate into our food, mind, and body. So we want to make sure that we earn in the right way, not becoming too much stressed out, not being in a lot of tension or frustration. And the second thing is we have to respect the money that we have, and we use it in a worthwhile way. We just don't want to spend just like that, right? We have to respect for the money and spending based on our needs and capacity and with the realistic things. Because when we have some money to buy some things, we can't just go out of the board and buy a lot other things or expensive things just to prove to someone or just based on comparison. We want to be realistic. We have to spend it in a worthwhile way based on our needs and capacity. And sometimes we forget this, and then we end up in troubles. So financial wellness means we have to give some respect and think what is our reality, and based on that we will do the things. And being content and satisfied with what we have. When we are content, some will say that means we should not earn more, we should not be ambitious. No, not at all, right? When we are content with what we have, when we are satisfied with what we have, then we will have that right energy to aim further, to earn more, or to do whatever we want if and as needed. But being content first, being satisfied with what we have right now, is what gives us that financial wellness and stability also. So financial wellness is one of the most important things in our wellness also. And the next thing is intellectual wellness. And we all know about it also. We need this intellectual wellness in all our day to day activities at work, or in doing creative things in arts, or teaching others, or learning more things in whatever field we take, in the tech field or the medical field. Every day we have to learn new things, right? So we have to be open to the new ideas, new knowledge. We have to be creative and accept things sometimes. And sometimes, if it's not good, we don't accept that. But we have to be open to the new things. We have to be imbibing something new every day. So every day we can make a promise for ourselves that today I will learn something new. It could be very simple things from others' lives as inspiration in our day-to-day life at work and all. It could be a book, or it could be some spiritual reading, but we can make it a point that every day I will take some time to learn something new, and that will make our brain also active, right? And that will delay the things of dementia and all those things. So we want to be We want to keep our brain active, open, and learn every day whatever we are seeing or reading anything. And the next wellness we want to talk about is occupational wellness. Again, one of the most important things, because half of our time, more than half of our time, we will be spending with work and the people at work. So this is equally important, the occupational wellness, as is our emotional, mental, physical health, because this will drive our other wellness aspects also. And more, some of the things that we want to keep an eye on in regards to occupational wellness are the work satisfaction. Whatever we are doing right now, we can aim higher, but first thing is satisfaction and the respect we give to our work. That is what gives us more knowledge, more strength to move higher. But satisfaction and respect is the starting point with what we have, because satisfaction brings success. Because when we are satisfied, we will put all our heart and mind to do that. So that gives us the success. And sometimes some of our colleagues or our own self, we might feel low or guilt at our own self that if somebody is moving really ahead and growing more than us, we should not get into the feelings of feeling low or guilt or jealousy. Because here, one of our teachers said it very beautifully. I really love it. It could be the success of others or us, doesn't matter. We just have to respect that feeling of success, respect that success. Then there is no way that it will not come to us. It will come to us. We have to respect that success, whosever success it is, then automatically it comes to us. Because when we are successful, we expect the same from our colleagues and all, right? So we want to work very hard, with all our heart and mind, but do not get feel guilt or low also. And maintaining the self-respect is very important. Sometimes some of us may feel that the others are not valuing much, nobody gives me value to my ideas or to my work is not acknowledged. So we get that kind of feelings, but we get those kind of feelings only when we lose our self-respect. Because when we have self-respect, the others will automatically respect us and our work. We have to be very good at our work, what we are doing, and give importance to our work and ourselves. Not arrogance, but self respect, and that gives the respect from others also. And standing on our right beliefs. We work with so many different people at work, but we have to make sure we stand on our right beliefs, which will definitely give us the success. And we can be a good team player and a leader with the power of cooperation and acceptance. Again, here we have to remember that when we are giving our ideas, we have to give our idea with a lot of confidence, like a master of our idea. But when the manager or the supervisor takes a decision, if they take the decision or the idea of other colleague, we just have to accept it like a child accepts their parents. When we give ideas like a master, when we when others take some other decision, that's okay. We'll learn from that, we will move forward, but we don't want to feel low or guilty or not being acknowledged. So these things are really important. Maintaining the self-respect, respect for our work, work satisfaction, and respecting the success of others also. That gives us the occupational wellness. So the next one we'll talk about is the emotional and mental wellness. So in our life, we see in our life or others, does anybody have 100% everything? No, right? Everybody has their own challenges. It could be of their own physical health or emotional health, or it could be a family members, or it could be financial, or kids' school problem, ride problems, home problems, something or the other. Every one of has something or the other problem. Nobody's perfect. But what makes the difference is how we are able to cope with our daily life stresses without experiencing major impacts on our health. For that, we have to be very stable, clear on our purpose, on our values, on our goals, and to look only at ourselves, not looking at other people's lives. Because if we start looking at other people's lives, if we start living their life, when are we living our life, right? So we should not go too much into others' lives, but focus on our goals, our purpose. That gives us some idea of how we can cope up our own stresses in our day-to-day life. If we are able to cope up well, means we don't get that emotional or mental illnesses. And what helps in that is a healthy vegetarian diet, and meditation helps in this. We will go more into this in the later part of the webinar. But how the meditation helps is, in meditation we can be very creative in creating good, positive, elevated thoughts which can clear up those negative, stressful thoughts. So that really helps us to be able to cope up our stresses. When we meditate, it doesn't mean that we don't get problems, but we get the energy to cope up the problems and the stresses. So I think a lot of you who are in tech field, you know, right? We all know that when the computer goes slow, what do we do? Like in our program director, we were 5, 6 people in our program. Our program director always used to ask us like, "What should I do, Leslie? The computer is slowing down." The only answer as I know out of the tech field is the Control Alt Delete and open the task manager. So I thought this works for our mind and emotional health also. So whenever we think that we are getting stuck somewhere, we're getting tired of so many thoughts coming, negative thoughts, stressful thoughts, or fear coming. We just have to remember this Control Alt Delete. So open the task manager, meaning talk to yourself. Like just take a few moments, talk to yourself, and delete the unwanted running actions or thoughts, which in our case, and keep it a clean slate. The mind should be clean of all those negative emotions, and we take an alternative route towards positive, constructive, courageous thoughts, and get that control back on ourselves. So when the task manager, when we sit in silence for a few moments, the negative thoughts of doubt, anxiety, frustration, comparison, worry, fear, anger, all of these will run away. But they will run away only when we open that task manager, meaning when we sit a few moments in silence and reflect on what's going on in our mind. We can delete the unwanted and run the necessary and constructive processes. And we all know if we don't do that, the system will slow down. In this case, our mind and brain will slow down. We cannot focus very well. We cannot think very well towards the solution. We'll talk more into this meditation in the later part. And the other answer I always use is if something goes wrong in the phone, switch off and switch on. A lot of times it works, right? So for our mind also, when we are thinking that mind is getting very tired, not able to focus, we just have to switch off, take silence, take a few moments, switch off from all the external world, thoughts and everything, and then switch on, and we will make sure that we come back with that energy to work on that. So we'll learn more regarding that. And the other part of the wellness is the emotional, after emotional health and mental health, it's the physical health. Let's say if somebody is angry at home, Do they need to tell us they're angry? No, right? We will know from their facial expressions and their behavior. And if somebody is very happy, very good, they achieved something, they got some results, they're very happy. Do they need to tell us that they're very happy? No, right? We know from their facial expressions. So we don't need a major or big signs to say that our emotions will affect the physical body. We don't need a big science to prove that. We know that in our day-to-day life also, which tells us a healthy body, healthy mind gives us happy life, and the physical and mental health is very, very well connected. So that's why it's important to maintain that emotional and mental health to get our physical health and wellness also. So same thing in a scientific way, if we want to talk, the stressors cause the nervous system. The stress is the emotional component, the mind. The subtle component is causing the stress because of the thoughts, and that causes the physical brain to release some chemicals which affect our hormonal system, which releases some hormones, and that affects our whole physical body, and even the immune system will get affected from the stress. That's why with this coronavirus pandemic also, wherever you read the information on how to prevent the virus, how to improve the immune system, the last thing will say that do not panic, do not be fearful, because the fear decreases the immune system. So that's how important the emotional and mental health, um, because it affects our physical health also. And no need to say about this, I think, but just to reinforce how stress affects the body. If you see here, there is no system left that does not get affected with the stress. Every part of our body gets affected with the stress, because basically with the stress, if we just want to remember in our day-to-day activities, it decreases the blood supply to all the physical organs. So when there is no blood supply, what happens to that physical organ? It will get affected, right? So in the brain, we can get strokes or paralysis, irritability, and anxiety, difficulty concentration, headaches, all these things happen. And in the heart, if there is no good blood supply, heart blockages will happen, heart attacks will happen, and gut will not function very well, reproductive system will not function well, immune system also will not function well, even the joints and muscles will not function well. A lot of the arthritis happens from the stress. It's all well studied and proven. So the stress, the emotional component, the mental component of the health affects the physical body a great deal. So we have to be very cautious. So that emotional and mental component includes our thoughts, our emotions, our attitudes, and the memories. All of this will cause our brain to release some type of chemicals which cause some hormones to be produced. If they are negative stressors, negative emotions, the stress hormones will be released, and then the lack of energy and disease happens. But if we are happy, we keep our peace, we keep our happiness with us, then good hormones, the happy hormones, endorphins and kephalins will be produced, and that gives us the healing energy to our body. So, how to attain physical wellness? We will briefly talk. We have a whole separate webinar on the wholesome diet for the body and soul, and fitness formula for body and soul in the previous webinars. In the interest of time, I will go over them quickly. So, how to attain physical wellness? If we divide into a few things, fuel it, right? It should be the energy, the fuel for our body should be very pure, very healthy. We all are looking for organic food, no pesticides, no hormones, and all those things. So we have to look into that again earlier, as we discussed, no animal food. Eat natural, plant based diet. And Hippocrates, the father of medicine, again says, let food be thy medicine. It shouldn't be the medicines that we need to maintain our health, but food should be our medicine. And move it to the extent whatever we can do based on our physical body, because the exercise will help in all different ways. It increases our stamina, strength for better sleep, better mood, and to avoid all these conditions of heart attacks, strokes, cancers, and all these things. For clear thinking, controlling weight, and for immune system, the exercise helps. So moving it is very important, especially now we have to be very cautious because all our work is in front of the computer in this lockdown. So we have to take time to do that. And we have to have a balance of what we are eating, how much we are exercising, all these things. We have to keep a balance of it. And again, prevention is better than cure. So we have to do whatever we can do to prevent it before something happens. So please check out the other webinars if you did not listen to them before, and that would be really good. And there's a famous Ayurvedic proverb. It says, when diet is wrong, medicine of no use. So when diet is wrong, we get ill, and medicine also will not be of any use at that time. When diet is correct, medicine is of no need. So that's how important our diet is. And Charaka is one of the principal contributors of famous Ayurvedic medicine, and he says, if you strive for bliss, your diet should be such that new disease cannot manifest and the existing disease will be alleviated. So if we take of all this father of medicines, principal father of medicine or principal contributor of Ayurveda or any other medicine in the world, everybody says diet is the most important thing. No doctor will say take this medicine and you'll be good. Everybody strives towards that, to avoid the medicines because they all come with side effects, and the easiest way is to just take care of our diet. So why not we can do that, right? So please think about it and make sure you practice plant-based vegetarian diet. And the other most important thing in our physical wellness is water. And I see a lot of times at work we don't get time to drink enough water, but it's very, very important, as equally as important as the food we take, because it removes the toxins. If we don't have enough water in the body, how can it clean up the body, right? 50 to 70% of our body is filled with water, and all the tissues, each and every cell needs water. So we want to make sure we take enough water every day, because it's good for joints, muscles, immune system, for the skin. And all the dermatologists also will say the first thing is, are you drinking enough water? And it increases the energy, metabolism, reduces the weight and reduces the fatigue, and it boosts our productivity. So it's very, very important how much amount water we are drinking in our daily life. So, with all these wellnesses, we understood that the four main pillars are the body, heart, mind, and soul. So, we looked into how emotional and mental health is affecting our physical body, how emotions are affecting our physical body. So, to have a balance of all these things, the knowledge of the soul, the health of the soul is very important. So, the next thing we will look into, the most important thing I wanted to say today is about the eighth dimension of wellness, which is the basis for all these other wellnesses. And the basic thing that we all need to have is the spiritual wellness. So we will look into that spiritual wellness, which forms the basis of all these other wellnesses. And we will also look into how that is the basis for all our other wellnesses. So why do we need spiritual knowledge? I don't think any one of us have questions, but the Some younger generations will have some questions, why do we need? So I'll share a quick story on that. My brother recently told me, a very rich person, he went to a guru who has, a lot of people are going to that guru for their knowledge of spiritual knowledge, and this person goes to him and he says that, do we really need the spiritual knowledge or the knowledge of God, soul, all these things? I'm so rich, I'm very happy, I have everything what I need. So then the guru says, okay, let me go to your stores. You said that you have like a store that is 5 6 floors, a big supermarket that you have. And he takes him there, and the guru tells him that first, send a cow into your supermarket. And he could not say no because it's a guru who is saying that. So he sends a cow into the supermarket, and the cow goes all around, and it goes to a place where there are a lot of leafy vegetables, and it eats whatever amount it needed, the cow eats and comes back. The next time, the guru tells him to send his pet into the store. So, yes, he will send his pet into the store, and it goes all around the place, and it finds a section where there is pet food, and whatever it liked, it ate and it came out. And the next time he says, send your some of your work persons into the store. He sends them and he says, whatever you want, you get it from the store in this amount of time. So he goes, but he never comes back. After the time is done, also he never comes back. So then the guru and this the owner of the supermarket, they go in and ask that person, how come you didn't come out after so much time also? And other thing is, he didn't take anything so far from the stores, whatever he wanted to. So the person answers, there is so much out here. I'm feeling like I should take this, I should take that, I should take this. But when I take this, I thought if I don't take that, I might lose that. I have the fear of not taking something else. And with that fear, with that confusion, I couldn't take anything until the time is over. And that's why I couldn't come out. So then the Guru tells that is why we need the spiritual knowledge and the knowledge of God, the company of God, because we human beings are very well educated. We know a lot, we are very civilized, but we do not know some things what we actually need at the end of the day. After achieving everything, we do not know what we actually need, and that's where the spiritual knowledge and God's help is needed. So, the inner thirst of contentment and peace can only be satisfied by spiritual knowledge, and how that helps also, we'll take a look into this. So, it helps us to experience the true self beyond the physical being and understand the meaning of our existence, and we give respect to the natural forces also with that knowledge. And sometimes some of us think, oh, spirituality is a path where you don't take care of other paths of life. It will be like a path of renunciation. There's some confusion there. But actually, the spiritual path is not a path of renunciation. It is the path to be walked on, because it teaches us how to walk, to excel on every other path of life. All the 7 other dimensions of wellness we can achieve very well if we just have this spiritual wellness. We'll look into that how. So the first step is to know, who am I and who is mine. Just these two answers will give us a lot of knowledge, and we'll look into that. So who am I is our question, right? So what do we answer? We all say, when you are asked, who are you? Who are you? After you say your name, place, profession, and everything, then repeatedly, if you ask, who are you? Who are you? Definitely, we come to the point that, yes, I am a being of light, the soul, the living energy residing in this physical body, controlling this physical body, doing various actions with this physical body. We all have that knowledge, right? Soul, SOUL, the source of unique light. the being of light. And here we see what mistake we did. But in our day to day lives, with our busy lives and mechanical lives, we were just thinking that we are just this physical body made of the five elements, humus, which literally means that which is derived from the soil. So we just made this mistake, SOUL. I am this source of unique light, the being of light, controlling this physical body, but we just got mistaken that I am this soil made of physical five elements. Forgot that living energy in it, how beautiful we are, how powerful we are. We forgot that in our day to day hustle and bustle, and that's what causing some problems. And how that knowledge will help us, we can get through that practice of meditation. So we are human beings, the soul, the being of light, together with the physical body made of the five elements, it's who we are. So we have to have that awareness to run our lives effectively, efficiently, and healthy. So you can say how the knowledge of the soul will help me to have wellness. We will look into that. The soul has three subtle faculties. The soul has mind, intellect, sanskars. These are not parts of the soul because the soul is light, it's energy, it's not something physical. So these are like powers or functions of the soul or the subtle faculties. So when my mind is creating powerful thoughts, peaceful thoughts, I have mental health and wellness. And if my intellect has the right power to decide, discern, and judge the things, I have good intellectual wellness. And when my sanskars, the original qualities of love, peace, purity, powers, happiness, bliss, and knowledge, if I create my thoughts based on my powers, my qualities, my original sanskars, my emotional health is very, very well. So when I'm emotionally well, mentally well, and intellectually well, definitely I'll become very well physically also. So that's how important it is to have that emotional, mental, intellectual wellness, the knowledge of the soul, the true self, that we are the beings of light filled with all these powers is very important. And staying in that awareness is what we have to practice with the meditation in our daily lives. And one more thing is, if you look into the word illness, ILL, and illness. So I lack love. When I lack love, there is a chance we get into illness. So what does lacking love means? So I lack love means I am not in my self-respect. I forget that I am a point of light, filled with love, filled with bliss, filled with happiness, filled with knowledge, and I am the child of God. When I forget this, I just see my physical body and I limit my energies and I limit my capacity. I get into illness. So we have to remember how powerful we are, how beautiful we are, how much potential we have. So Raj Yoga meditation is what we practice at Brahma Kumaris, and it's a very beautiful technique, very beautiful meditation. Raj Yoga meditation is connecting to the highest on high, the divine energy, God, who is the source of all these qualities of love, peace, bliss, happiness. So we learn that connection, we learn how to connect to God in this Raj Yoga meditation. And here, if you see the words, illness is ILLNESS, and wellness is WELLNESS. So when I is replaced by we, illness becomes wellness. So this we can take in a different. very different contexts. When we all are together, when we all human beings are together, nature, human beings, animals, ecosystem, we all are together in balance, we get from illness to wellness. And when I am with God, my parent, God and myself, if we are together, there is wellness automatically because the supreme authority is with me. That's why that connection with God, the highest on high, is very important in this spiritual wellness, which gives my wellness in all the other dimensions of wellness also. Always remember, when I is replaced by we, together with God, we will be well automatically. So, one last thing. I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit extra time, but it's really important for all of us. So, God's, like one of my friends was asking me a question, like when you say in meditation, you listen to God and God gives that help and energy and the peace for you. How does that happen? How can you speak to God or how can you listen to God? All we have to do is we just have to be silent and think of Him. If you look at the words silent and listen, the same letters, beautiful words, right? The same letters are there. When we are silent, we can listen to God. In silence, we talk to ourselves and we talk to God, and then definitely we can listen. I will quickly share another story which really touched me. I really like it. And it really helps us how to be open to receive God's love. So, a small village, very elderly and very experienced and very good devotee, very good priest of that village temple. One day he gets a dream and he wakes up and he tells his other priests, God told me that I'm going to come to your temple tomorrow. The two questions he had were, did God did not come in the past to our temple? One question. And the other question is, will God to come to my small temple in this village? But he got the dream. He shared with the other priests. Half of them believed, half of them didn't believe. People whoever believed also said, okay, let's see what if the dream is correct. And then they make a lot of preparations. They clean the whole temple, the whole village they clean to keep it clean, and then they decorate the temple. They do a lot of varieties of food to offer to God. Very all the family members, everybody comes to temple. Morning goes, God didn't come. Afternoon goes, God didn't come. Evening happens, God didn't come. So everybody got so tired. They were fasting because they wanted to eat food after offering to God, but God didn't come. So everybody gets tired and they offer food for God in front of the idol, and everybody takes the food and they take rest. But this priest who got the dream is awake, and he kept thinking, why God did not come? He told me he'll come. He could not sleep. He just stays awake. And then he hears the sounds of the wheels of the chariot. And then he wakes up another priest. He says that, God is coming, I think. Let's go open the doors. The priest says, because of your dream, we got so tired all day. Just sleep now. You're again getting a dream. He tries to go back to sleep, but he couldn't. He wakes up and he hears the sounds of footsteps on the temple steps. He wakes up another priest. That priest also says, now, you know what? You're really dreaming a lot now. Now you just go to sleep. Let me sleep. Okay, he says. He couldn't sleep. He listens to the sound somebody's knocking the doors of the temple. He wakes up another priest. They also say, so much wind is blowing out there. Some wind is blowing on the doors. God didn't come. He won't come this late night. You sleep. He sleeps finally. The next day morning, when they wake up, they see that there are the imprints of the wheels of the chariot on the ground, and there are the imprints of the footsteps of God on the temple steps. And it is indeed God who was knocking the doors of the temple, but everybody was sleeping. Here, can God, will God be not able to come opening the doors? He can, right? He can do whatever. But why he did not come? Because he told he'll come. He came, knocked the door, but We didn't wake up, nobody woke up. So, similarly, God says, with just one thought, He's only a thought away. The minute we think of Him, He will be present. He will be right there. But it is us who have to open. It's not the doors of the temple, it's not physically God coming, but we have to be open, our heart and mind, to receive God's love, to receive His sustenance, which forms the basis of our spiritual health. So when we are silent, we can listen to God. So we really have to make a practice of sitting in silence and remembering God. And God gives all these virtues which we can fill ourselves when we sit in meditation. And for the same question which some of our friends or colleagues have, when we are sitting in silence, we are not able to focus, not concentrate. It's okay. Every little spiritual effort a day is like a grass added to build a nest of spiritual life, a moment of remembrance, a thought of His remembrance, every little effort of being conscious that we are souls. I am soul, and whoever is with me equally is an important being of light, respectful being of light. If we are staying in that awareness, every little positive shift in our action leads to our reality and being close to God and being spiritually well. And the little kid is so happy putting little pennies in that kiddie bank. One day it will become a big amount. So live every little effort to remember Him will count. So ourselves at our best with all these wellnesses, and the spiritual wellness forms the basis of all of these. It's time to take care of ourselves. And someone truly said that if we don't take time for wellness, the chances are we'll be forced to take time for illness. So we have to be cautious and take time for our wellness. We'll take a few minutes and sit in silence and practice meditation. Sit comfortably, relaxed. I am on my beautiful journey towards my inner self and to God, to meet God. Gently focus your thoughts in the center of your forehead. Experience that shining star of light, the living energy, the true self. I am light, a pure being of light, peaceful being of light. I am God's child. God has given me the unlimited treasures of peace, happiness, powers, and knowledge. I promise myself to create every thought based on my qualities of peace, happiness, love, acceptance. With the flight of my intellect, with the power of my thoughts, I go beyond this physical body, beyond this physical world, beyond this time, to the region of light, region of golden red light, where God, my parent, the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Light, is waiting for me. I feel the shower of love from my father, mother, the Supreme Parent. I am filled with love. I am filled with peace. I radiate this peace and love to each and every cell in my body. I feel my body is very peaceful, calm, and healthy. I radiate this God's love and peace to each and every soul in the world. I radiate this God's love and peace to the whole environment. I am God's child. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. I'm sorry I took some time extra. If you have any questions, you can take now.
Thank you, Sister Rajni. You beautifully explained why we need to and how to approach wellness in a holistic way at all levels. And God is always available for us, and it is us who need to open up and take help from Him. And that's the easiest way. Thank you, sister. For the participants, if you have any questions, you can post your questions either in Q&A window or chat window so that we can take them. Sister, there's one question at the moment that is a brother is asking way to draw a line between arrogance and self-respect.
Self-respect is when we value not only ourselves and each and every other soul also, realizing the importance of our soul and each and everybody who is playing different roles. But when I forget to respect the other soul equally, that is where I can feel superior and may get into that arrogance crossing that border. But if I remember that everyone is equally unique, beautiful, important souls playing different roles, then we will definitely stay in that line of self respect and we don't cross it.
That's beautiful, sister. We need to respect both involved.
Hmm. While we wait for the questions, I'll just go through a few slides on our organization. Ours is BKW, Brahmakumari's World Spiritual Organization. It's a non-profit organization founded in 1936. We have over 1 million practicing members, and we have 130 centers in 130 countries. We have presence with more than 8,000 centers, and our motto is to share the spiritual knowledge and help self transformation and world renewal, and to transform individuals' perspective from the world to material, from the material to spiritual. And here locally, we have center in Silicon Valley in Milpitas, and it is run and led by our dear sister Kusum Kejriwal, who is the director of the center for the last 25 years and has taught thousands of students how to get the spiritual wellness and to get the whole complete wellness. And we have free Raj Yoga meditation courses, webinars every week, and in this lockdown we have so many different classes available, and we have 200 regular students who attend Murli classes, the daily spiritual knowledge classes at our center. It's physically located at 540 South Table Street, currently not open because of the lockdown, but we are available online in many different classes. And we have all this in our chat box also, and if you visit our website, it has a lot of information on the courses we offer and on events calendar. And we do not charge a fee for our courses and retreats, but contributions are welcome and they all are tax deductible. And the most important thing I wanna let you all of you know is we have a very special class by Sister Sudesh, BK Sudesh Didiji. She's a very loving and powerful soul who gives all these classes of spiritual knowledge, and it is on December 19th 12 to 1 p.m. I want all of you to take benefit, and please share it with your friends and relatives also. It will be a very loving class, and the teachings, this class is also about previous gift of time and love, right in time for us as a Christmas gift actually. So please register, please visit our website and register for that. And we have a webinar on January 9th on the magic of simplicity. Very beautiful topic, the magic of simplicity. And we have a beginner's Raj Yoga meditation course in January on these particular dates. You can visit our website and register. And we are having every day 7:30 to 8 meditation for beginners also, who did not take course, who didn't have prior experience, also can participate. Very easy to follow. This time it is about 21-day goal to cleanse the tough habits. We all have some or the other tough habits, so we can learn how to cleanse them with this spiritual knowledge. And we have classes for parenting, vitamins for smart parenting, and living values classes every week on Sundays. And everything is in our chat box, this information, and also on our website. Thank you very much for your attention, and